Thank you for tuning in. This is Shikama Live, coming to you live. This is your host, Kevin Cardinale. There's been a lot of comments, and I thank everybody for it on my videos of Leave Black People Alone. Men's rights and the feminist movements do not apply to black people. And everybody keeps trying to say, oh, but it does apply because you're a man. No, the black community is completely separate, and I don't want to say above, but the issues that black people face don't even come into play when we're talking about men's rights or the feminist movements, the females attacking men just based on their gender and trying to gain power through their movement. This particular video, I'm going to concentrate on the marriage rates in the black community. And the marriage rates themselves should speak to how these men's rights, the gender war, doesn't apply to black people. I know I already made a video, but the video is really just brief and just with no stats. Okay. One of the recent findings by Ivory A. Tolson, PhD, a Howard University professor and research analyst for the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, and Bryant Marks, a psychology professor at Morehouse College, I went there briefly, and faculty associate at the University of Michigan's Institute for Social Research, went through the data, went through the census data, and did their own research, did their own interviews, and found and set out to find the exact opposite truths behind the black marriage data that's pumped over the airwaves about black people. Here's what they found. 75% of black women get married from the age of 35 on older. So the whole notion that 70% of black women are single is a complete lie. When you actually look at that particular study that says that, they took black women aged 25 to 27 and found that 70% of those women were single. That has nothing to do with anything else other than the slice that they took and the slice of the slice that they took. I guarantee you ages 25 to 27, 70% of black women are not single. That just doesn't seem to be right. That seems about the time that black women are getting married. Now, let's go through some of the other myths that they busted. Black women and education. With a diploma, 36% were married. With a bachelor's degree, 47% were married. With a master's or professional degree, 59% were married. And with a PhD, 62% were married. So they found the exact opposite of what is pumped out through the mainstream media, that the more educated the black woman is, the more likely she is to be single. This data proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that that is not true. Why would the media say the opposite? What could they possibly gain? They could possibly make young black women, very young black women in high school think, oh, if I get an education, I'm going to be less likely to find a man and get married and have children and have the whole family. Right? Not smart, but they could catch quite a big segment of the population who would buy into that lie and go forth with it and proceed with their life with it. The black women to men ratio is 51%. There are idiots out there who claim that it is 17 black women to 1 black man. That is ridiculous. That's not even possible. You would rarely see a black man. The success of black men, let's take this into account. 70% of black inmates are high school dropouts. So there is a direct correlation there. I think that's pretty obvious. Now, more black men than black women earn $75,000 and above. Black men are 2 times than black women to earn $250,000 and above. So obviously the whole notion of success and that there's no successful black men out there is a complete lie. And it's promulgated by the mainstream media. The white media portrays education as success in blacks, not income nor wealth. But in whites, they only look at wealth as a definition of success. So, Bill Gates, a college dropout, is successful in the white world. The same in a black man would be considered as a failure and counted as a failure. You see the dichotomy? You see what they're doing? Interracial marriage. Thompson and Marx put it at 15%. I have it broken down a little bit better. My research shows that 8% of black men date outside or marry outside of their race, and 3% of black women marry outside of their race. I know that a lot of people see stars or the inner city with interracial marriages going on, and they think that that's clearly a sign of how things are in the entire black community, but it is not true. An overwhelming majority, everybody agrees, 85%, if not 90% of black people marry black people. My point in this video is to give you raw data that completely contradicts this notion that we are susceptible to the feminist stuff about spousal abuse, patriarchy or paternity suits, lawsuits, divorce rates. My research shows that the divorce rate amongst black people is at a whopping 32%. Whites are at 38, 39, 40%. Only the Asians are in the 20-something percentile. Everybody else is worse than whites. Blacks are actually below whites in divorce rates. So a lot of these issues don't affect black people. You know what affects black people? When a company can come and take an entire neighborhood and it just gut the entire neighborhood of their houses. When black people can walk down the street and have all of their constitutional rights completely ignored. Why? Because they're black and they're considered not to be able to stand up for their rights. That's what affects black people, not some gender war that's some first world problem. Okay? Thank you.